Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some flirty talk in town that resulted in a first kiss and affair between Valerius, our young single homeless prankster, and the lady of the evening in town, Emelina Fitzroy, who works at the pleasure house and is married to the baker Emmerich, who works all the way in town. So he's never around to interact with his wife during the day. They might get some brief time together at home. But, that aside, Emelina, she spends most of her hours kind of lonely on the other side of town. And when she doesn't have customers, she seems to be staring out the window at Valerius, who is in the prank shop all on his lonesome, and he kind of has a way of, cussing out other folks and just being really flirtatious that gets to her, and Emelina actually made the first move on Valerius. She was literally making a plan about how to make a move on Valerius, and while doing that, she kind of fell to the floor. She's all sprawled on the floor, probably looking very ravishing, and managed to get his attention. They started a conversation, things got really flirty, they had their first kiss, so now there's an affair happening between these two. Yeah. And then we welcomed in the Winterbourne family with Manon Winterbourne, who is currently unemployed, but we are, fingers crossed, hoping that she is going to become our next lumberjack, and her husband, Christoph Blackwood, who is hopefully going to become the next mason, and I feel like wood and stone are both things we desperately need. So I'm excited to see how things are going to go. That aside, Anne broke up with, she didn't break up, sorry, my bad. No, her husband died. Her husband Theodoric, guys, who I think was the hunter, he died. He was one of the hunters. So now Anne, our 44-year-old miner, is all on her lonesome, and she's gonna be hopefully going on some dates. And I think, she was Pepin's mentor, actually. She was Pepin's mentor. Yeah, that's right. And then she has an acquaintanceship with Brynja. I don't know where they met or how they're connected. I'm not sure how she's connected to Brynja, but hey, there is that happening. So first thing actually I'm going to do before I kind of get time going and we try and gather some more resources, I want to see whether our two boys over here, if one of them are going to manage to maybe make a move on Anne. Because right now, I don't think Anne does she have any kids? Where's the Frost family? They're in this neighborhood. No, she does not have any partner. She does not have any children. Did she never ever have a child with anyone? She didn't. She has never had a child. Has she ever adopted someone? Well, I wouldn't know because the game doesn't track it. But yeah, she's never had biological children. So, okay. And you know what? I don't actually know what the age is for them to not have kids anymore, to stop having kids. Is it when they start graying? Because I don't know. For example, if I go to the Kolb family, it says they have no baby wish. But then because they're in their 50s, I think they could have a child, but the chances of being a parent is at 0 because there's no love between the two of them. They're in a loveless marriage. Their traits, there's nothing that encourages it. Their age doesn't help either. So there's 0 chance for them. But I'm curious now, so I want to go to my couples that are older. The Olwyn family, what about them? They have a 1% chance of having having a baby, a 1% chance. Their relationship is really good, but this is mainly on the age, of course, the traits and age. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, it makes sense. The older they get, the less likely they are to have offspring. What about Marie? Where's the Baker family at? I'm just suddenly curious now. I've never really thought about this. Where's my Baker family? Where are the Bakers? The Bonnet family. The Bonnet family. Where's the... Sorry, they're over here at the end of the street. All the oldies are living together. Yeah, they have a 0% chance. The age doesn't help. And they don't even have a slot, so that's fine. Has anyone else, like, gotten up there in age? No, not really. Okay, well, I'm glad to know that. But yes, we do want to try and get Anne together with someone else. So let's, Valerius, as the older male, he is going to get a chance at Anne. So let's go ahead and see if maybe he is able to impress Anne. They have a bad affinity. I don't know if this is how things would be if she wasn't heartbroken, but like widowed, but she is like heartbroken and widowed. But you know, she is social and romantic, so I mean, things might have been different if the widowhood wasn't the case, but you never know what she's thinking. Okay, she does have like some dislikes, or a dislike in common with him. They both don't like public executions. So let's just go for it and see how this goes. Okay, Valerius. And the thing with Valerius right now is he's actually in love, like actually in love with the Lady of the Evening. But you can't be with the Lady of the Evening. She's married. But let's go on a date and see what happens here. So we'll start off at the hill by moonlight. It's time to duel, or minstrels disturb the peace and tranquility of the neighborhood. We're going to go for the minstrels. Anne loves minstrels, bards, and troubadours, but finds this conversation boring. Okay, now we're at the inn. We can get excited about great libraries, or say, what if we abolish the death penalty? We're going to try and abolish the death penalty. Public executions are a barbaric and gore event. Anne agrees with Valerius wholeheartedly. And then, okay. Well, apparently a boat ride at the lake wasn't needed because Valerius and Anne are discussing marriage immediately. And this, I don't know, Valerius might be trying to get over his first love, who is the Lady of the Evening, probably because he knows she's married and it's not going to work out with her. So I don't know how it's going to end up with Anne, but he's going on a date with Anne, maybe, you know, hoping that he can get over his first love. So it is a match, and it is going to be a loveless marriage for now, which I think is very obvious given Anne's context and Valerius's context. I think he is getting married because he wants to try and get over Emelina, and Anne is getting married because she wants some company. So okay, Valerius and Anne are going to be together, and now Valerius is no longer on the streets, good for him, and now I'm very, very curious about their ability to have a child. Where is she? The Frost family. Like, I'm curious now because she's in her 40s, you know, she's up there in age. So they have a 3% chance of having a child. Yeah, I think the age is probably the biggest factor at this point. The age is the biggest factor, but they have a 3% chance of having a child right now. Because Valerius is very young, but Anne is a lot older. She's 44 at this point. But okay, that is going to be that. It's kind of interesting, the bloodlines that we have and the bloodlines that are going to die out. Like, if we really think about it, the only bloodlines that are continuing, we're going to have the Wycliffe family through Effie. We're going to have the Bonnet family through Eloise, because of the daughters in our Lakeburg. They're the ones that continue the family name. We're going to have the Knapp family from Olive. Let's see. The Brielle family from Sapphire. And then, yeah, for now, that is literally the only ones that are continuing. And I feel like I should stop paying more attention to, like, maybe the family names I pick. Because I was kind of just letting it largely be random, you know, just going for whatever. But now I'm starting to think, like, there's some really pretty names that aren't going to continue that are making me sad. Like the Frost family. I really like the Frost name, but Anne, she has like a 3% chance of having a baby, and I'm pretty sure that goes down every year. So Things are not looking too grand, guys. Things are not looking too grand. I'm almost... I mean, I am tempted to rename some of the families, but I'm not going to. If anything, I'm going to try and just pick nicer last names for the new families that come into town. And then who knows, some of these families, you know, they might die out. But okay, let us go ahead and see what is going on with our various folks in Lakeburg, since we have just made a new match for the Frost family. Let's have a look. Oh, to love and to leave. After a seemingly never-ending marriage, Colette and Loop decided to break up and go their separate ways on their own. Oh my goodness, guys. Their marriage has been very up and down. It's been largely loveless, I think, and I'm kind of surprised they waited this long to break it off, like when Colette's 50 and Loop's 55, but I guess that's kind of what they've decided. So yeah, they are going to get a divorce. And now that, you know, these guys are single, I'm wondering if Chris is going to ask Colette out on a date, maybe, because, you know, I don't think he's 19. He's like so much younger than her. He is so much younger than her, but also I don't know if I don't think he wants to be out on the street, you know? Are they related in any way? I don't think so. They're not connected in any way that I am aware of. So yeah, I think Chris is he's gonna ask Colette out on a date, and he's gonna see how this goes. Okay, Chris. I feel like definitely Valerius got luckier with Anne. I mean, Anne's the age gap is a little bit smaller with them because Valerius is a bit older than Chris and Anne is younger than Colette. But we'll get Chris to go on a date with Colette. I mean, they might have had a decent affinity. It's awful now because of her Colette's situation. She's divorced and heartbroken. Might have been different had that not been the case, because they do apparently share an affinity or a like for dueling. They have contention with, you know, silver and gold. But okay, let's see how this goes. So we're gonna take her on a date. Okay, so we're starting off at the lake with a boat ride. We could say it's time to duel, or say money creates more problems than it solves. We're gonna go with the money. Colette still thinks life is easier when you've got silver, gold, and diamonds. Rubies are a plus. And then we're gonna go to the inn. We could say flowers are pointless, or accuse fat stray cats for every problem happening in the village. We're gonna accuse the stray cats. Ouch. Colette doesn't share the same opinion about these adorable furballs. And then, yeah, this date is quite embarrassing and no need to insist. I think Chris was just a little too desperate. He kind of saw that after Anne got divorced, very quickly Valerius made a move and they ended up getting married. And now Valerius, who has been out on the streets with Chris, I think for a few years now, he saw Valerius is now living a bit of a cushy life. And he thought he could do the same thing with Colette, but no. Colette is a lot older, a lot more experienced, and it's kind of obvious that there's no compatibility here. Chris is desperate, he's like trying his best, but there's no attraction, there's nothing going on over here, and you know, Colette's not too impressed. So it's a fail. They both go their separate ways, and I think Chris is, to be honest, very embarrassed that he was desperate enough to go there. I think Chris, guys, is very embarrassed he was desperate enough to go there. It's okay, Chris. It's okay, we understand. So what has been going on over here? Guys! Valerius has gotten over Emelina. Valerius is over Emelina, guys. Yeah, look, lost love. So, I mean, she is his first love, or was his first love, a very memorable romance, but he has gotten over her, and very soon after getting over her, he got married to Anne. So, you know, that kind of worked out very cleanly, even though it's a loveless marriage, like he's now over Emelina. It was a one-time thing, it was very exciting and thrilling, but now it is done and dusted. Okay, good to know. And then, Manon and Slavomir. Where the heck is this? Manon has met Slavomir, and these two do not get along well with each other, which is not great. They don't like each other. And then Colette and Lupa exes now. The Winterborn couple, they're infatuated with each other. And then the Jameson couple are kind of in love. Okay, who do I want to catch up on right now? I think I want to try and catch up on... Did we take a look at the Fitzroy family? Because we have... I feel like we've got a few families to look at right now, like the Fitzroys, the Winterborns, and the Frosts. Okay, Fitzroys, Winterborns, and Frosts. Because I want to see what's been going on with them since they got together. I think we took a bit of a look. Did we? Yeah, we took a look at the Fitzroy family. We haven't taken a look at the Winterborn family because they recently got together, but Kristoff and Manon have been dancing together late into the night, so it seems as though they're kind of handling their own situation quite well. Okay, good to know, good to know. And then the newest couple to get together, the Frost family. We might not have anything because they just got married. We'll try and keep an eye on them because I want to see like what's going on between the two of them. Okay, and in terms of materials, like have we saved up enough for anyone's job, to be honest? You need to go to the lumberjack, right? Lumberjacks? Yes, we have. Okay, excellent. So Manon is going to come right here as our newest lumberjack. And now, hopefully, we're gonna, like, you know, get our wood going a little bit quicker. Did I? Hold on a second. We have a carpenter's workshop at the fisherman's hut. I think I made the adjustments. I want to improve working conditions over here. I realized I just spent some of our precious gold, but, you know, it's going to be important once we do get the workers in, whenever they choose to arrive. I'm assuming we have no resources left for... Are you serious? Kristoff? Now you don't want to be a flippin' mason? This is why we brought you in. We brought you in because you could have been the next mason. Ah, he doesn't want to be a mason anymore, guys. He wants to be a man of the evening or a lumberjack. Well, a lumberjacks maxed out. We don't have another vacancy at the pleasure house, I'm sorry. So he has decided that he is going to be unemployed. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Let's continue saving up more of our resources. Okay, I'm keeping an eye. What else is happening? The Brielles want another child. No. You guys already have Sapphire. Keep an eye on Sapphire, please. Okay, nothing else of importance is happening right now. Oh, I just noticed something. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. So, it seems as though Slavomir and Manon, they don't like each other. Wait, no. Yes, they dislike each other. Theodora and Chris. Oh, hold on. Chris works at the Mason's workshop, doesn't he? He does. Okay, the ambience is bad because Theodora and Chris, they don't get along with each other. What is up with Theodora? Does she have a problem? Oh, yeah. So she is the problem. I was wondering who the problem was in the Mason's workshop. So she's the problem because she has a difficult personality. She's a coward, mean, and glutton. So she probably makes the life of her coworkers miserable, probably picks fights with everyone, which is why she is, like, sworn enemies with Brainiac. And it seems as though she has made a bad impression on Chris, and the two of them most likely are going to end up, you know, not in a good space with each other. So she's just going to be surrounded by enemies at this point. And then Slavomir and Manon dislike each other. So for whatever reason, they don't get along. Slavomir is one of our hunters. Manon is our newest lumberjack. Actually, you know what? Between Slavomir and Manon, it makes sense to me because we have seen that the... Actually, I was gonna say, we haven't really had a rivalry between the lumberjacks and the hunter's cabin. It's mainly been like the the hunters don't like each other and the lumberjacks don't like each other. Basically, everyone who works in the same place usually hates, their co-workers. We've had a lot of romantic relationships between the lumberjacks lodge and the hunter's cabin. We've had that happen. So I'm kind of surprised that Manon and Slavomir don't get along well with each other. Wow. But now we also have a vacancy in the hunter's cabin, which I kind of overlooked. But that's good to know. That is definitely good to know. So if, Christoph, you decide you want to be a hunter, not a lumberjack, I can help you out in that case. Otherwise, I really can't. But also, it seems as though, guys, we have had the arrival of a little baby in the Kibling family. Little baby Randall. And this is a little boy who has his father's hair, his father's eyes, and his mother's skin. Okay, he is a brave little boy who can be a blacksmith. Okay, so he can apprentice at the forge, which is going to be wonderful. So now we have kind of like a backup blacksmith in Lakeburg. Okay, look at that. And then in terms of his preferences, he likes painting, meditation, and music. He dislikes flowers, divination, and fishing, and he has a good relationship with both his parents. Oh, that is nice to see. What a wholesome family. What a wholesome family. And both his parents are farmers, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. What a humble and what a wholesome family we have. Very nice. Sapphire, nothing has changed for you, right? Yeah, nothing's changed in terms of her aspirations, so I still cannot help her out in terms of getting apprenticeship somewhere. Has anyone aged up? Have any of the other kids aged? Nathan has aged up! Guys, Nathan has aged up. He's 12 years old now. This is how little Nathan looks at 12 years old. He is frustrated. Being an apprentice baker must be tough. But he is the son of our farmers as well, Elfrida and Hubert, so of the Morrow family. And he has a bad relationship with his mentor. I don't know if they're going to be friends when he becomes an adult. So far, that has been the case. We'll see. But he's learning at least. Anyone else that has aged up? I do not think so. Nope, that seems to be pretty much it. Okay guys, well, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.